expected of them. Thank you so much for joining us. It's another fine Tuesday afternoon. I am Rotimi Akinsude. Welcome to Your Viewpoint. This is where we talk about issues that concern you and I, and of course find ways to see that these issues are resolved. Now, this program is sponsored by Integrated Communication Services, and of course it is designed to encourage moral values in our society and also provide possible solutions to societal issues. Today, we're talking about something very important, something you see around. We're talking about environmental pollution and of course waste management. But then we're going to go deeper with special focus on healthcare waste management. Of course, today it has become a major concern for both the government and private organizations when we talk about waste management. But then we get to look at how we can get better and of course look into what can be done and of course the relevance of healthcare waste management and how it is important and how it could affect our environment, how we can have a waste-free environment, how we can have an environment that is not polluted. I have in the studio with me this afternoon, I have the General Secretary, Medical and Hazardous Waste Manager of Nigeria. He's also the CEO, Brilldot Global Limited, Olumide Ogundele. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
I also have a member of Medical Hazardous Waste Managers of Nigeria. He's the Financial Secretary and also the CEO, Agua Waste Management Company, Akinduro Gbenga. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
All right, without wasting more time, of course, you know what is happening when we talk about waste in Nigeria. And some people would just want to believe the fact that waste management is a serious challenge, and it looks like we have many things to do about waste management. Now, I will start with Olumide. What is your take on waste management in Nigeria? How would you rate the development when we talk about waste management in Nigeria?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I would want to say so far so good, but again there's room for improvement. Where we are in Nigeria today, from what we have seen on the field so far to date, as a practitioner and a service rendering group in this sector, in terms of waste management, we in the developed states so far in Nigeria, we can count just few states that have complied so far so good with what it is to properly manage our waste across the board, both domestic, healthcare, hazardous, commercial, all categories of waste management services across the board. Just few states. And if you permit me just to mention, I would say Lagos State the lead. So far so good. At least on the basis of that, then you can go to Abuja as well. The other states are trying to follow the trend just as Lagos has done. But it's like Lagos is the star boy.
Like the goal setter.
Yes, it's the goal setter.
You use the word star boy.
In terms of what they have done to date. What they have done to date. They've gone so far.
Okay. Now, I must be sincere. Between Iyanokpaja and Oshodi. Iyanokpaja, between Abule Egba and Oshodi, especially when you're passing through Mongoro area, if you're familiar with that environment, at some point, I must say that those who clean that place are trying. Yes. But then we are still going to look at the challenges, that they are facing. But what is your opinion? You have something different to say.
To me, we still have a long way to go.
Okay.
But they've really tried. The industry have grown, and like you said, Lagos has taken the lead.
Okay.
Being the pioneer state. Why I say we still have a long way to go? There was a time I have some people from South Africa. They want to invest in the industry in Nigeria. and I was contacted. And when they brought the idea, and I look at it, they wanted to acquire the dump site for material recovery and recycling.
Okay.
And the policy we have doesn't give any individual the power to own the dump site. We don't have that policy. So that was the reason why they could not even stay. Because I told them, if I said you can do it, I'm just lying. You just go there and you will see that you are just meeting stumbling block. But the only thing you can do is to do build, transfer, and build, operate, and transfer. More. I don't think they are ready.
All right.
That's the reason why I say we still have a long way
to go.
But we are trying. We are
trying.
not where we had 20 years ago.
Okay, we must also look at some other places in Lagos. This is the state where we're operating as it is. So we want to talk more about this state now, which would be a point of contact for the entire Nigeria. Now, we still have some other places. I just mentioned a particular place, which I have seen myself. But then there are some other places, we have some other streets, roads, highways, where you find dumps and all of that. What is your take? What do you think should be done? Because if some places are clean and other places are not clean. In fact, can we give a statistics to that? That, okay, when it comes to 1 to 100, how would you rate Lagos? When it comes to 1 to 100 in terms of waste management,
Lagos, 80%.
in terms of cleanliness,
80%.
80%.
Yeah, pass mark. Yeah.
Based on what?
Yeah,
Based on how many places have you been to now say that you want to give 80%?
I was discussing this same issue with my father on Sunday.
Okay.
We were just talking politics and we make mention of the issue of waste.
Okay.
I grew up in Lagos and I know how Lagos is in terms of waste management, especially the Yaba Ojunri area.
Okay.
When you pass there, all over Lagos, even Mushin, you see heap of waste all around. That was around 1995, 94, 93.
Okay.
You will see all sorts of things on the road. But when there was a democratic government, when they came in and they did a lot of work.
Okay.
And I believe one of the criteria that was given to Lagos State by World Bank was that they should clean the state and then investment will come.
Okay. What would you say? Let me go to Olumide. What's your take? What do you see as a challenge? If we have to go 100%, we can't stay where we are. We need to move forward. Yes.
Now we want to say, having gone to 80%, now I will even say I can give Lagos 85% because what is involved in waste management is beyond the surface. There are a lot of things that are involved. Aside from the regulatory agency, which what my colleague said, when we look to pre-1999, what was obtainable in Lagos was something else. It was a dirty city and nobody, or a dirty state. Nobody could do, you can't do anything. But in the wisdom of the government that came into power that very time, a lot of things were put in place. Part of which emanate into what you see today as PSP, this private sector participation.
But some will tell you they come once in a week, once in a month, right?
No. When you look at the global performance, aggregate performance, that's why we say we can give 80-85%. There are challenges that comes with it. What are the challenges? Lagos is divided in so many areas. You have urbanized, rural, semi-rural. Urban area, you're talking of VI, Lagos Island, Surulere, Ikeja. You don't need to tell anybody to do this. They understand what they want to do. But go to the rural area, the Badagry axis, the Ekpe axis, the Ikorodu axis. You are not expected. Those areas are categorized even by the government. Government are paying for them on their behalf. Yeah, government is paying for them, for PSP operators to go and service that area. Aside from having to do it in the city where you issue bill at the end of the month.
Do you have proof?
Yeah, we have. I'm a PSP operator in Lagos. Listen.
A number of persons will not believe that. Because why they wouldn't believe is because they know they also pay. As much as you want to say that some in the rural areas are not paying and all of that. But what about those who pay and they expect that they get their wastes disposed on time and it's not done on time? What's your opinion?
My opinion is, if you go to the city center the complaint is not as much pronounced as the rural area.
Okay, that's your point.
Yeah. I live in the city. I live in the rural areas of Lagos.
Okay.
It's my duty. I know each day of the week, the PSP operator will come and cut away my domestic waste. And at the end of the month, the issue may be, which I pay. In fact, my location has made it very difficult for me to even throw away my waste arbitrarily. Yes, I get my bin. I have to drop it either on a Tuesday or Wednesday. The PSP operator will come and cut it away. Those are areas that are well developed, well organized. But when you go into the interior, where development is just upcoming, road could be a problem, location could be a problem. You know, most of the rural areas in Lagos, they are more or less of a water. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So as an operator, I know what I'm saying. My own operator is not the domestic or the but more or less airways. And I travel across the area of my operation and know what it is to even get the airways out.
All right. Let's look at waste recycling. Over the years, people have been talking about waste to wealth. What's your opinion? Do you see that thriving? Is it really thriving in Nigeria?
Well, I have a contrary opinion to that. I believe they've given much publicity to recycling. Too much publicity to recycling. Because we are practical people. We are on field. We see what we see there.
Okay.
And the way they are saying it, maybe it's because it has an international grant. I don't know. Yes, recycling, fine, but the publicity is much. Why I say so is that everybody wants to go into recycling.
Okay.
That's the reason why I say too much publicity.
Okay.
And when they come in,
do you see it thriving in Nigeria?
yes, it will thrive, but we are not there yet.
Are you saying we do not have the capacity to do that properly?
Do
we have what it takes?
We have.
Do we have the technology?
Yeah.
Do we have organizations that can handle that? You know, there was a time, this waste to wealth thing, you see people, picking up PET bottles and all of that, just to make money. In fact, there was a time I saw on social media, somebody was using these bottles, plastic bottles, to build a house, something like that. So my question is, do you see us thriving when it comes to recycling in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a thrive.
Okay.
Now, we always refer back to Lagos.
Okay.
Because it is standard bearer.
Okay.
Yeah. Already, the regulatory agency in Lagos, which is LOMA, has a full department that is called recycling. Where most of these recyclers you see around, they are licensed.
Okay.
The beauty of Lagos is you can't do any of this waste management without being licensed by the regulatory agency, which is LOMA. Now, even to the recycling, those guys you see coming out every morning to pick the PET bottles and what have you,
yes.
when they pick it, they take it to somewhere where it's recycled. The aboki, the malams that carry these PET bottles and what have you, they're not carrying it for fun's sake.
Okay.
It's for a pecuniary reward.
All right. We're still going to talk about that, but we have to
Let
go on
me
a
just
break.
say something to that.
Okay.
What I want to say is, until we get to the point of those that are producing the waste buying it back,
Yes.
that's when we get to the point of the recycling industry is thriving.
Okay, you are going to take that again. You are going to go further to explain that statement. So by the time we're back after this break, please go nowhere.
Vegetables are not only enjoyed because of their effect on food, but because of their health benefits as well. Indeed, many Nigerians include vegetables in their diet because of its health benefits. These are the nutritious vegetables that add vitamins to our body, and they are very popular amongst Nigerians. Bitter leaf. Bitter leaf, or onugbu as it is popularly called by the Igbo people, is a vegetable known for its bitter taste. But before it is included in food, it is washed a couple of times to get rid of its bitter taste without removing its nutrients. People also crush the leaves to get the juice to drink. Bitter leaf is known for being a natural detoxifier, removing dirt and waste from the body, and can help one lose weight. It also reduces sugar level in the body, and the bitter leaf juice is taken to expel worms, to treat stomach upset, and even problems with digestion. It is rich in antioxidants that fight cell damage and helps keep the body healthy. Some people have used it to cure sicknesses such as malaria. Ewedu is another vegetable that people, especially the Yorubas, love cooking. Aside tasting great in soup, Ewedu is a vegetable that is loaded with a lot of nutrients, including antioxidants and vitamins like A and C. Ewedu helps to ease bowel movement and can also help with weight loss. It also boosts one's immunity and helps strengthen bones and teeth. Ugu, also known as fruited pumpkin leaves. Ugu leaves are very popular throughout the country and are used in the preparation of an assortment of dishes. The leaves contain dietary fiber, which aids digestion and prevents constipation and other digestion problems. Many people also drink the juice of ugu leaves to help regain blood because it contains a lot of iron, which boosts the production of red blood cells. The leaves are also very low in calories, and including them in your meal will help you gain less weight. Scent leaf. Depending on what part of the country you are in, you may know this vegetable by another name. Efirin among the Yorubas, Dayodoya among the Hausas, and Wancho among the Igbos. It is often used to spice up the taste of food. It has a strong, rich scent that adds a delightful aroma to whatever it is cooked with. It contains a lot of nutrients, and it is often used in treating dysentery, diarrhea, fever, catarrh, and so on. Taking scent leaf also helps to reduce one's cholesterol level. Water leaf. Water leaf is another popular vegetable you are bound to come across whenever you visit the market. It is often used in the preparation of soups. Water leaf helps with weight loss and also helps to reduce sugar level in the body. It is used in treating stomach issues like indigestion and constipation. Water leaf also prevents heart-related diseases. Lemon basil. Lemon basil is known to many Nigerians as Nigerian curry leaves. These are tiny leaves used to improve the taste and aroma of food. Lemon basil are herbs that have a distinctive lemon aroma and are especially pungent once it is minced or cooked. The health benefits of lemon basil includes its ability to boost liver function, fight inflammation, and prevent cancer.
Thank you so much for being there. This is your viewpoint, and we're still talking about environmental pollution and waste management. I've been speaking to Olumide Ogundele and Akinduro Benga. Both of them are healthcare waste managers and experts. And the other time, before we went on that break, we're talking about the issue of buying back waste. So what is your opinion?
Yeah, it's a principle used in US.
Okay.
Because I've been opportunity to see them do that.
Okay.
When you buy a bottled water, take from a carton of bottled water for your family, you don't throw away the beer, you don't throw the PET bottle away, you keep it for the producer. The producer will come back and take those bottles from you and give you another. Maybe they will give you one whole carton. And then if you want to buy another one, join it, they then sell.
Some sort of compensation
Yes.
for doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you see that happening? And if it is not happening, is this something we can really do here?
Yeah, it's possible here, but it may take a longer time.
Why?
Because the level of awareness is crucial. People need to know this is what I should do in respect of my waste. Whatever I've generated from my own, how do I do it? And that comes in with segregation. How do you segregate your waste? Where do I put my best?
But one thing I know is that most people, when it comes to money, or you are going to compensate them, they will quickly adapt to that thing. They will want to get it done. Don't you
Yes, you are right. Yeah, you are right.
That's the reason why I'm saying if there is a policy,
Yes.
political will and then government policy, you will see that the producers, people like Coke, Coca-Cola, and bottled water producer, they will align. And then you consumer, you know that if I buy this bottle from this water from this company,
This organization,
I can keep my bottle and give it back and get something from it for it. I want to do it, and by so they will keep away those things from the street.
All right. You are a member of Medical and Hazardous Waste Managers of Nigeria. Now, a number of persons may not really understand what it means. Healthcare waste. How is it different from the normal waste we have around? You know, when we talk about waste, all we know is that once you have used something, it is not useful anymore. Then you put it somewhere. What is the relevance of healthcare waste management?
Well, Like the name suggests,
Okay.
healthcare, those are waste generated from healthcare services.
Okay.
Those are waste generated from healthcare facilities in the course of having to treat, to diagnose,
Okay.
to make sure the treatment, the taking off of diseases within the society. So by virtue of having to do that, there is no human activities that does not generate waste. There is no human activities that does not generate waste activities. So for the healthcare waste, they are specialized in the sense that because they were generated in the course of having to treat a disease, providing a solution to a problem. In the course of having to do that, there is no way such waste should not be treated separately. If you don't want that disease,
You want to give us examples?
yeah.
And gloves?
No.
Something like that.
We categorize waste.
So that the layman can understand.
Yes, waste generated from the healthcare facilities are categorized into the following.
Okay.
There is a general waste generated from the from the healthcare facilities.
Okay.
Those are waste, what they eat in the
Just
in the
the
world
normal
food.
general-
Yes.
Okay.
Then you now go to hazardous. Hazardous in nature because it could afflict other people if it's not properly handled or carted away or disposed properly.
Okay.
You are talking of gloves,
Okay.
bandages, syringes, needles, and what have you.
Really?
Scalpels.
So you think all of those can actually affect?
Yes, because they
And
carry
bring the
fluids. They carry fluids.
And they are airborne.
They are airborne. Most of the bacteria or viruses that are generated, those things they don't die just anyhow. You just take it from a spot to another one. Pending the time you have to cut it away, it has to be stored properly. It has to be transported properly. It has to be treated properly. It has to be disposed properly. Those are the layers. You can't jump any of this. The moment you jump it, that diseases you are trying to get away from the society is getting back. And the painful part of it is at the point of disposal. If it is not properly disposed, it gets back to the society.
So, how much awareness do we have about this? Do healthcare professionals have an idea of all these things you're talking about? Talking about doctors, nurses, and all of that. Healthcare workers generally. Now, look at we have courses online talking about caregiving and all of that. All of these people taking these courses and some other healthcare workers, do they have an idea of all these things?
There was a research that was carried out by my son. I happened to stumble at it, and he actually looked at a tertiary hospital, and he made a survey of about 50 people, healthcare workers. And out of that survey, what he came out with was that about 48% of those people knows that they need to dispose that healthcare waste properly. While about that 48,
Okay.
meaning it's not a pass mark, but they are not doing it until there's someone that will train them and force them that this is how you should do the waste. And that is what we are facing.
Okay.
That is what we are facing. Though Lagos has gone far on that, but there is still room for improvement. But other states are not doing that. We still find in other states that they could mingle all waste together in an hospital. They'll put the general waste and the hazardous waste together, and it's very dangerous.
Who is supposed to do that when it comes to letting them understand the segregation? Whose responsibility is that?
Now, what I know about that is this: as a medical student, it's part of your training in school that when you are generating this waste, you should segregate the waste normally. But human being who they are, when you go out from school,
Yes.
you forget something.
Okay, I wouldn't want us to dwell on education in that regard, because if we have to go into that, then that's another kettle of fish anyway. But then you belong to an association. You belong to Medical and Hazardous Waste Managers of Nigeria. So what exactly is your association doing to ensure all of those things are done properly?
Okay. There was a time in Lagos that they bring all the healthcare practitioners together
Okay.
at least once in a year to train them on how to segregate their waste. We call it a stakeholders meeting. So we bring them together and we train them on how to segregate waste, most especially the healthcare attendants. I don't want to call that the cleaners. We call
Okay.
them healthcare attendants.
Attendance. Okay.
Because they are the one in contact with those waste. So, and if you don't train them very well, they go back when, let's assume the doctor and the nurse, they did their homework, they segregate the waste the way they should segregate it. And
Okay.
the healthcare attendant does not know anything about the waste that they need to segregate it properly. He just carry, he or she just carry the waste and take it down to the waste house and just lump everything together.
Okay,
Yes.
in that regard, a number of things, I want to believe a number of things would be the reason for that. You know, segregating all of these things you're talking about, the waste, could be stressful. Or what's your
No,
take?
it's-
And if it's not stressful,
Yeah.
if it's something that has to be done, as a result of not having the knowledge that, okay, this is how it should be segregated.
Let me give you a flow chart.
So, but my question is, who is supposed to, the other time you talked about medical students,
Yeah.
somebody who has graduated should have an idea. So my question is, how do you get to see what they are doing, or how do you regulate them? Or how
let
do
me
you
give you a flow chart.
ensure that they do that properly?
Let me give you a flow chart. There's
Okay.
a flow chart
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
And anywhere you want to establish an healthcare waste industry, you must follow that flow chart. And what's the flow chart? Training first. You need to train the healthcare practitioner, the healthcare attendants, on how to segregate the waste. If they've gotten that, then the rest is easy. After training, we take it down to the storage.
Okay.
After storage, when you train them, they segregate very well. When they segregate very well, to storage, they know where to put the waste. They won't just put the waste together with domestic waste. After that, transportation, from transportation down to treatment, and then after this train disposal, that's the flow chart. So where we are lacking
Yes.
is the area of training, but we are trying as a body. Because when we go to our clients, we tell them, we even share poster
Okay.
on how to segregate those waste to them.
Okay. You want to add something?
Yeah, in addition, normally we always use Lagos as it, like I said.
okay.
Now, in Lagos already, the regulatory body, which is LOMA,
Okay.
are engaged. There's a regulatory agency from the government ENSO that handles the hospitals. We call them FEMA. These are the regulatory bodies that set the standard. You can't do anything below the standard set by this. How do they do it? They monitor constantly.
Okay.
Even some of our staffs, most of our handlers are trained intermittently by regulatory bodies on how to handle this. And the bit of what we do is, our own sector of the waste management is more or less of a database, simply because where the waste is not as massive as that. But you need data, because when it comes to billing, when it comes to record keeping, when it comes to how do you improve, how do you get it better, do you understand?
Yes.
Our own sector of the waste is involved with that. Now, when we go to the field, by the training we receive as the CEO, and the same thing given to our operators on the field, when they go, the best thing is you go to a facility, go to their storage point. The waste is expected to have been segregated. It's an unwritten law.
And when it is not done like that, what happens?
Well, there's a fine. Yes, there's a fine. The regulatory agency have put a fine in place that
About
you have to,
500,000.
yes, about 500,000, 250,000, that you got to do it right. If you don't do it right and you are caught, you'll be fined.
But with that fine, people still default.
Let me give you a scenario.
Don't they?
A practical scenario.
Okay.
I have a client that did that, and they sent a picture of such
The storage,
to
the
regulator,
waste, okay.
the commingling waste
Yes.
to the regulator, and they
Okay.
visited them and they saw it. They fined the client 250,000 after much negotiation, because it's 500,000 too, but there is room for negotiation. The client paid 250,000. Can you believe after then they started segregating their waste properly?
Okay, so if we have that, I want to believe there should be some sort of reduction when we talk about defaulters. Has there been any form of reduction?
No, in Lagos. In Lagos,
yes.
We have, I can give figure, at least we have 90% compliance.
Yeah.
The remaining 10% is just because they are dodging, they don't want to pay.
Okay. All right, Olumide, let's quickly look at the responsibilities of individuals. But then we are going to go on this break. When we're back, if you would answer that question. Okay. Yes, we're going to be talking about the responsibilities of individuals when we talk about healthcare. That is it just about the healthcare professionals and all of that? We'll be back after this break. Please go nowhere.
Nigeria's Toby Amushi has successfully defended her Commonwealth Games 100-meter hurdles title after winning Nigeria's 4x100-meter women's team on Sunday, 7th August at the Alexander Stadium in Birmingham. It was then at the ongoing Commonwealth Games that athletes have continued to churn out more medals for Nigeria as the event entered its final stages. Wrestling dominated the bulk of the medals on Saturday as para-table tennis, para-athletics and athletes in other sports continued to make the country proud. Wrestler Mercy Genesis won a gold medal for Nigeria, defeating Canadian Madison Parks 3-1 to win women's wrestling freestyle 50 kg. And the men's freestyle 57 kg, Ebike Wenimu Wilson won the silver medal after losing 10-0 to India's Kumar Ravi, while compatriot Hannah Ruben lost 2-4 to Canada's Justina Distasio to clinch silver for Nigeria in the women's freestyle 76 kg event. In para-table tennis, Nigeria's Issa Ogukule was dominant in his third-place match and did not drop a game, comfortably winning his match in the men's singles classes 5-3. Ogunkule defeated India's Raj Algar 3-0 to win bronze. In the same event, Nigeria's Nasiru Suli lost 1-3 to England's Jack Hunter Spieth to settle for silver. Also in para-table tennis, Faith Obazuye claimed the bronze medal in women's single classes 6-10 third-place match. Faith defeated Felicity Pickard of England 3-1 to finish on the podium. In para-athletics, Yukari Ayazi threw a new games record of 10.03 meters to win the gold medal for Nigeria at the women's shot put F55-57 event. Our national teammate Ugochi Alam got the bronze with a throw of 9.30 meters. The men's 4x400 team, made up of Udodi Omuzurike, Favor Ash, Alaba Kintola and Raymond Ekibo, also made history with a bronze medal win. It is the first medal by the men's 4x100 meter relay team since 1982. The women's 4x100 meter, which also has Favor Philly, Rosemary Chukwuka and Grace Nwokocha, claimed gold in record-breaking fashion, finishing in 42.10 seconds to break the 42.22 seconds African record they set at last month's World Athletics Championships in Oregon, USA.
Most of these waste we see all around, they are biodegradable, but we are not well enlightened about all that. So we just dump waste anywhere we see. All these waste, even we ourselves as individuals, we can package most of these waste and probably sell to some companies or recycle them. Just get some companies that do the recycling. Most of these things are biodegradable. They can be used for another things, but we do not care. We just litter the environment. I think on our roads we should have, I don't know if it is possible, but most of these street lights, they can put some waste baskets hanged on them on streets that have street lights. They can just look for a part of the pole, just put a waste basket, a waste bin hang it there. People, nobody's daft to see a waste basket and steal it out the streets of Lagos. You understand what I'm saying? So, but for streets that do not have street light like this, we can station maybe from like 5 meters from each other. We can just station like basket.
So I think there should be enough sensitization as to how people are expected to manage their waste. Beyond that, the government too should do something, proactively in managing the waste, because there's another thing sensitizing people, there's another thing doing your own part as a government. So if you sensitize from today till tomorrow, if there are no efforts from the government part, the lawman guys are not even coming 2-3 times, in a month, you can't. The sensitization won't work effectively.
We don't manage waste because, at least in developed countries, they have at least 4 or 5 places you can drop waste. Your plastic, your bottles, your nylon bags and everything. So they have different ones like that as it does. I think if we can do that in this country, it will help us a lot about waste. As for Lagos State, they are trying, very, very trying. So they are doing their best. It's just we people, as populace of Lagos State, we are not doing enough to support them. At least when we are supporting them, their problems will be minimal. But we create problems for them as people. Because if you hit to one is, don't drop this here, don't drop this, that, it will go a long way for them to at least do their work. We can manage waste. At least when you are there to instruction, don't drop this on the floor, don't drop this in the gutter. At least by heeding to advice and warnings, I think we can manage waste like that. Because I will see some people, they will just drink mineral bottle and throw it anywhere they like. It's not supposed to be. I do correct some people sometimes. Even when you are in a vehicle, you drink anything and you drop it out of the window. It's not supposed to be.
In some developed countries, in some sane societies, they will convert this waste to something useful that will not only benefit individuals, but the society at large. But here in the country, we don't have that technology now. And even those that seem to know, they are not applying they are not deploying the knowledge the way it should be, simply because they are not being encouraged to do it. But if the government could educate people on what should be done, how they should do it, and for instance, if there is no can here, waste bin, where people could just dispose their waste material, anybody could eat anything and just throw it away, and that is not the best for the society.
My name is Virginia Elvis.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. This is your viewpoint, and we're still talking about environmental pollution and waste management, with special focus on healthcare waste management. I've been speaking to Olumide Ogundele and Akinduro Gbenga. Both of them are experts when we talk about medical and hazardous waste, and we'll be talking about different ways we can get better, the country can get better when it comes to waste management, especially as it concerns healthcare waste management. The other time, before we went on that break, you were talking about, I was asking about the roles of individuals when it comes to healthcare. Do they have anything to do? I am not a nurse or a doctor. Do I have any responsibility? I'm not a healthcare attendant. Is there anything I have to do? Or is it just the business of healthcare professionals?
Well, I would say indirectly at the point of generation.
Okay.
That's where patients, which are individual citizens of person, do get involved.
Okay.
Because when you go to a facility and you are treated, certainly waste should be generated, either by needles, scalpel, bandages, whatever.
Okay.
At that point, the patient is out of the waste stream. Now it's left for the handlers, the healthcare cleaner, the nurses and the doctors. What do they need to do? Make sure, even at the point of generation, they are properly segregated. we do encourage that minimization of waste is from the point of generation. Reduce what is reducible.
Okay.
Don't use what you don't need. So at that point, the moment you minimize what is generated at that point, the cost to you, because everything has a financial implication.
Okay.
It is not for free, as it is obtainable in Lagos now. For private health care facilities, they do pay for health care waste services rendered to them.
What about people who are like, when it comes to these health issues, they go on their own to treat people privately?
Those are quacks. Those are quacks.
You consider them quacks?
Yes.
They're not professionals.
Okay. The regulator is trying to bring them in. We call them the traditional.
You know, even aside they try to, okay, you may want to include that too, but the medical people, they use some of this.
They use
syringes, they use syringes and some other
plasters and whatever.
So they still generate waste. And like, take for instance, they want to take delivery of a baby.
Okay.
You know, they still use all those things.
Yes.
So, and how do they manage that? So they are still part of it. But to just add to what he said about an individual aside the healthcare with out of the healthcare waste in the industry. So, take for instance, you are admitted in an hospital as a patient.
Okay.
You know, they will bring food for you. They will bring water for you. That's your family. How do you dispose of that? Do you put it in the red nylon? Because we have color-coded nylon for the waste stream generated in hospitals. We have the red nylon for the highly infectious waste, the yellow nylon for infectious waste, and then the brown one for pharmaceutical waste, then the black one for the general waste. All those nylons they are supposed to be in the ward beside the patient's bed. So when you generate a domestic waste, you see a black nylon, you should put it there. Are you putting it there as a patient? That's where they come in.
Yeah, but then you want to agree with the fact that they have to direct the patient to do that. How will the patient know where to put all of these things?
Take for example, there is a state in this country that I will not mention their name. I was talking to one of a client there that you can do this thing this way. He said, let me use Yoruba.
Okay.
That's the patient.
Okay.
As if we tell the patient to do it this way, they will not. Because they will not be there with them. They will there for the patient, they just see waste is waste.
Okay.
Let's just dump it anywhere we like. And it's not for us, waste is not waste. We have hazardous waste, we have general waste. So, and you need to treat them that way.
All right. If you listen to what people were saying concerning how to manage waste in Nigeria, we'll just look at that generally. Some people were talking about the fact that, okay, we can have all these waste baskets, you know, at different junctions and all of that, that even when you're moving and all of that, you're looking for a place to drop your waste, you can drop it there. What's your opinion about that?
It's an ideal situation.
Okay.
On the level of development, both economic, political, and social development we are going through in Nigeria today, I think we have more of a deviance. Yeah, we're more of a deviant society where things are not done rightly. Most of what you suggested are things being done in the developed world.
Okay, some people suggested them in that vox pop we listen to people on the streets.
You know why?
Suggestion is another thing. Compliance is ability to do it.
Do you know why I laugh?
Yes, why?
I laugh because during Nambode's time, it provided all those things. Where are those things now? You will see it in someone's compound, using it as a storage.
You know, there's a particular state where they still they ensure they comply with the fact that they must have baskets in their vehicles.
That was even more of a political issue now. You just give the job
vehicles, vehicles and all of that,
or whatever.
Yes.
But like I said, in the developed environment here,
yes.
If we go to estates in Lekki, Ajah, VI, that's where things are done properly. Okay. You see their waste being outside.
Why is it like that?
No, because it has with your level of education too.
Then the
culture, your social status. It has to be, because we've seen where it is done properly. So why would I do it differently? That's the issue.
Well, if you say it's about education,
Yeah.
in the past we have rural environment. In fact, in the villages,
Yeah.
we have places, we have houses, like households,
Yeah.
whereby they have compounds and all of that.
At the
They
back?
sweep, yes, the
At the
sweep everywhere is clean.
And
And they have.
there must be a dump. There must be a dump
Yes,
site.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because what I'm trying to say is that in those places, in some villages like that, you see some of these people are not learned.
Yeah.
They don't have education.
But-
they are not literate. Let's
But
put it
you
like
know that then-
But they are educated. They
But you-
understand they need to keep the environment clean.
And you know
That's
that
what I'm
then
saying.
they have
So
what they call
my question is, my point is it just about education? Is it just about being literate? Because you talked about the fact that people in those urban environment, like and all of that, is because of their status and all of that. So is it really because they are educated?
that education that he's talking about is
Yes.
not the formal. We have formal
Education.
and informal
Okay,
education.
fantastic.
Do you understand? What I want to say the other time was that then they have rural extension staff that goes around to tell people about the importance of keeping the environment clean,
Clean.
even in the rural area. And they tell them the implication of not cleaning it, making it clean. They tell them the diseases that they will see if they don't clean those environments. So by so doing, they will imbibe the culture of wanting to clean because they don't want those diseases around them.
Remember, we used to have. I think we still have it. Kai.
And we say have
We say have
Lagos.
Kai.
Yeah, we
In
say
fact,
have
I
Kai.
saw one of
Kai
their
Lagos.
vehicles recently,
Yeah.
very lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and what they do back then was to ensure that people keep their.
You don't drop waste anyhow.
Yes, in fact, I think they move around to see. Then we used to have this Saturday cleaning and all of that. But then, do you see them? Contributing
No,
to.
yes, they are contributing,
environmental
but they are contributing.
cleanliness.
But you
Yes.
see, the size of the state is bigger.
Okay.
It's too big. And compliance, this is where moral suasion,
Okay.
education, enlightenment to get people to know what do you need to do about your waste. Now, you are referring to the villages and what have you. That time, you have, those are towns, those are environment where you know yourself. You are coming to a cosmopolitan. Today, if I may be right, the population of Lagos is over 23 million. Do you understand? And the expansion continues. And so much the government can do. So much the government can do now. I bet you if the private sector participation has not come in for domestic management of waste in Lagos, what would have happened to the cost implication, even to the government? The citizens are bearing, citizens
Yes.
in Lagos, they are bearing part of the cost of waste management. Even at that, government is still subsidizing some areas.
But now there's going to be an increment according to reports. What's your opinion about that? Do you think it's worth it?
Like I said, that increment should have come earlier. We have an issue that was caused by Ukraine-Russia war. We are buying diesel at 300, 290 per liter as at January. And all of a sudden from February, March, it went up to 900. And it's now between 800, 780 now. And that is the main thing that we use in carrying out our service, the operation that we are doing. So how do we want to cover for that? So it's justified
It's just
by increasing it.
okay. But then, if it is justified, I'm sure people would expect them to do more, despite the fact that there are different factors contributing to the need to increase that amount. The other time we were talking about behind the scene, we were talking about factors like bad roads, diesel, high cost of diesel.
compliance.
In fact, in that report I read that they are talking about spare parts now.
Yeah,
and
yes,
all of that.
yes, that's right.
So as much as we are looking at all of these things, there's a need for them to also up their game. So that people, because some out there are saying that they come once in a month, and before they come to pick those wastes, the environment is messed up.
Let me say something as regards that. The frequency of picking of waste differs. You can't tell me to be coming every week to a place that they generate very little waste. I was
But
just wondering
what you call little, Maybe you're looking at it from
Let me-
another
let-
perspective.
let- let-
It
let
may
me
not be
explain.
small,
To-
you know, for a street where you have different heaps.
That the issue of that street is another ball game. The streets, the waste you find on the median is picked by Loma themselves, the regulator. It's not the PSP.
Yes, some people see that.
It's
Yes.
picked by the
yes.
by
And it's at a cost.
at the cost to them.
So-
And do you know, because of that, some people try to dump their waste on
At the
that
median.
So,
And that's the
and do you
reason-
know why they dump? What they tell you is because they do not come into the street to pick their waste
Let me tell you the
on
factors.
time.
No,
Let me
the
tell you
excuse
the
is not-
factors.
That's what some
Of
people
that.
say anyway.
The factors that contribute
Yes.
to that is this. I have a client. They are constructing their road, and my staff was telling me that he can't go in there to pick that client's waste for 3 weeks
Why?
because the road is bad.
Bad. All right, let's. I have a number of messages here. Stephen Walter says the truth is that some Nigerians have this "I don't care" attitude, particularly the ones that throw dirt from their cars or on the street. Hygiene is everything for me. Some people are still ignorant of what environmental pollution even mean, and there should be regular seminars and talks about it. Somebody called Favor Obianuju. In my opinion, I think there should be waste being centered in street corners, which is part of what we talked about the other time. But you said compliance is the issue.
Is the issue.
That this would go a very long way in encouraging good Nigerians to cultivate the habit of keeping the streets clean. Abdul Malik says, I'm sure there are laws or regulations put in place to punish offenders that litter the environment, but the problem here is enforcement of the law.
That's the reason why I said the issue of the culture of the people. I have a small place in Surulere. It's a black spot. Despite them having drainage,
Yes.
you still see this waste all around.
Okay?
The drainage has been blocked.
Wow. Okay, we are going to talk more about this. Waste management is quite wide, I must say, as regards, especially as it concerns the environment. Some other time we will talk about this. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I've been speaking with Olumide Ogundele and Akinduro Gbenga. Both of them are healthcare waste managers and experts. Be sure to join us same time, same station next week by God's grace. I am Rotimi Akintude. Bye for now.